Why didn't anyone tell me about the British destroyers? They are so awesome. And I can't believe I've made it this far without ever playing one. I did receive Gallant, which I believe is tier 6, this past Christmas. And it's okay. It's a tier 6, so whatever. But I wanted to show you this replay because I'm just blown away. I mean, if you've been considering picking up any of the Daring line of destroyers, grinding it out, please do, because these ships are absolutely amazing. I'll tell you a little bit more about this ship itself, but first thing I wanted to point out is this match has 2 Hectors, one on each team, and they're both in a division with some mates. So here in the chat I asked them about that. Hector is not a ship you see very often, so to see one on each team surprised me here and amused me. It looks like a very poor investment, and Ionic Squid seems to agree. His divmate jumps in to mention he complains about having bought it all the time. Yeah, so a little bit of foreshadowing there. I'm going to be grinding out the Hector and doing a video on it in the future for my new series, Abandoned Ship. We're going to look at all the worst ships that this game has to offer. There are over 700 ships in World of Warships now, and not all of them are very good. And I am over the moon about some of those. They tickle me. So that one's definitely on the pile. Minotaur, but without good AP. Goodness gracious. Well, anyway. We'll revisit the Hectors in a little bit, but for right now, I need to contest the Sea Cap here in the Somme. Somme is just a reskin of the Tier 9 Tech Tree Destroyer, the Jutland. So, and that's also a thing I didn't know. I assumed it was its own ship with its own characteristics, but this is just a Tech Tree ship with all the benefits of a premium ship. Now, I don't believe Somme is still obtainable. I know it was like an event, or maybe they put the containers in the armory for it. I don't remember. But characteristic of British destroyers, it has many of these short burst smoke generator consumables. I just used one there. It's not active for a very long time, but it can help you to disengage, and then the cooldown is also pretty rapid as well. I just used that smoke over there, and I'm gonna have my smoke ready by the next time I need it, very shortly. This thing also has 10 torpedo tubes, which can be fired individually. I mean, I have absolutely coated a good wedge of the Sea Cap here looking for that Jaeger. Now, the enemy Jaeger, that is one of the best concealed ships in the entire game. However, I am also really, really well concealed. I'm 5.7 kilometers and Jaeger's like 5.5. So I don't really mind getting up there in its face, because I know I will win that engagement. Somme and Jutland and Daring and all these ships are really good cap contesters. Do they have the most DPM for a destroyer? Absolutely not. But as far as fighting other destroyers and maintaining presence and fighting over cap circles and all that, it does really well. And there we go again with the smoke. I'm able to disengage. I have to say, I actually kind of botched killing the Jaeger there. I mean, I did get the kill, but it took a couple more salvos than I expected. So I did eat some fire there from the Michelangelo, and there's like 5 ships hovering around C right now. This is a very precarious situation, but I'm not afraid because I'm in effectively the Jutland, the Somme. It's a very good looking ship too. Goodness gracious. I mean, that's its deal, right? It's a good-looking premium version of a strong Tech Tree ship. Now, I'm already down half of my health. I do get some repair parties, but I've already used... I believe I started with 3, and I've already used 2 of them. That's pretty rough. So this is definitely the kind of ship that relies on slipping in and out of engagements using that short burst smoke. It also has really good reload on the guns. And another weird thing about British destroyers is they have pretty good AP. I actually noticed that it recommends taking the extra heavy AP commander skill, which I do have applied here. So despite this distance, I'm actually trying to throw AP at that Charles Martel. I'm sure I didn't pronounce that right. I'll get French pronunciation down one day, don't you worry. But once again, I had that smoke ready so that I could take a couple shots without putting myself in danger, and it's not a big deal because I have to cap this circle anyway, and there's no threat of radar. That's another thing you have to keep in mind, is that when you see a smoke ship of any kind pushed up in an aggressive position, you have to ask yourself, why are they allowed to get away with that? The answer is always, there's no radar for whatever reason. If there was a radar, they would not still be there. Charles Martel is getting really close to me now, but I'm still not afraid because I have that really good AP, and he's pretty low on health. So we're going to take care of that rapidly. Now, I am spotted, of course. He did cause me to open fire, and he does get a couple more shots off on me, too. So I am already out of heals. I mean, where did they all go, right? This is all the health I'm going to get for the rest of the match. And look at how many ships are, you know, not super close to me, but just floating around in my side of the map, within shooting distance of me. I'm coming up against a Kitakaze here, and a Takahashi, and I'm leaving the cap circle that has Leon and Yumihari, Michelangelo, Hector. It's getting hot here, and I need to start playing the stealth game, which this ship does very well. And it has all of the torpedoes to boot, too. Again, 10 tubes that can be launched individually. So, once again, I'm going to pop another one of those short burst smokes, try to get some shots off on the Takahashi. I'm also wary about the Kitakaze, which I expect to come around the corner any moment now. And I don't have my hydroacoustic search up, although it wouldn't make much of a difference here, because it is short range. That's another weird thing that British destroyers get. They get this specialized short-range hydroacoustic search. They only go out to 3 kilometers, and torpedoes at 2 kilometers. But for a destroyer, that's still nice. I mean, it gives you the edge when it's a torpedo battle, such as against the Jaeger at the beginning of this match. We've successfully staved off the invasion at B, but Yumihari's making steps into C now, and I worked hard for that cap, so I'm going to try to defend it as long as I can, but I don't have all the health in the world anymore to take big challenges. So I'm kind of just floating around. I mean, this is the waiting game at this point. We're doing well. We have a points advantage. We have a ship's advantage. Really good timing on that. But the game is not over yet, and I need to continue making an impact if we're going to win this one. So I decide I've waited a decent moment. My torpedoes are off of cooldown, so let's throw some over towards C. There's, 2 battleships over there. Probably not going to see it coming. I don't know about Leon. I know Yumihari doesn't have hydroacoustic or anything fancy like that. So, 10 torpedoes. Parry this, you casual. And then Kitakaze gives her position away around this island, and this is where it gets really fun. This is the most amazing situation imaginable for this British destroyer. Even though I have this very short hydroacoustic search, it's still large enough to detect the Kitakaze around the corner here, and even though my smoke generator is short burst, and even though I have to be so close to my target, he is just outside of my smoke firing detection range. That's like a half a kilometer distance where those conditions are met, where I can see that destroyer and he cannot see me. So unfortunately, I don't get credited with the kill. That's okay. Thank you to the Velos for helping me out with that. But being able to bully the Kitakaze like that, a ship that would absolutely have me beat in a fair gunfight, that was pretty amazing. I mean, that right there may have cemented my positive feelings for this ship and for the line in general, but we're not done yet. Yumihari is going around that corner there. I actually didn't see if any of my torpedoes hit. I don't believe they did. Somehow I think she dodged all, or maybe all but one. I don't really recall, but because of the threat of torpedoes, she's going to take the safe route around that island. Good enough for me. That's the only thing keeping me from being spotted and directly in the line of fire of Michelangelo's terrifying secondary battery. So I wait until I'm behind this island to start firing, of course. Even that is a little bit of a gamble. I don't know if there's some ship at a weird angle that could spot me, but I'm pretty sure that I'm behind cover from all angles. Open fire. Turns out to be a good choice. But the match continues to be balanced here. I mean, we have one extra ship, and we also have a lot more health as well, thanks to our Jean Bart doing pretty well. But I'll take this time to draw attention back to the chat. As you can see, Hector is the best ship ever, obviously. Well, you know, both Hectors are still alive for a combined total of 3 destructions so far, so as I write there, I'm inclined to agree. Maybe Hector isn't such a bad ship. We'll see. We're going to find out in the future. But with my very generous set of 10 torpedoes, I'm going to set 5 to the left of this island and 5 to the right as soon as I realize that Michelangelo is going in that direction. He has nowhere to turn, per se. I still have 2 smokes. I mean, that's the other thing. I've been using smokes this whole game, since before First Blood. And I've had to use them a lot, and that's the thing, that's the trade-off. You know, the smokes themselves are very, short utility, but you get several of them, several more of them than usual. And honestly, that seems like just a straight upgrade to me. I mean, this does not seem like the kind of ship that wants to be sitting in a smoke cloud the entire time anyway. The utility there is off the charts, being able to set smoke like 7 different times. And the gunfire is very powerful, and so are the torpedoes. I mean, why didn't anyone tell me, man? This ship is amazing. One of the best ships I think I've ever played. Gotta love the Michelangelo clipping into the island a very funny way there. But with that kill on the Michelangelo and on the Yumihari, halfway across the map, that is going to wrap it up. Obviously, we hunt down the Leon and he dies as well. 3 destructions, 89,000 damage in the Somme. And again, Somme is no... I don't remember if she's obtainable. I know you had to get these puzzle pieces out of these containers. I know the containers were on sale a couple weeks ago. That's how I was able to obtain this ship, because I almost had that collection complete from when Somme was introduced. So they reintroduced those containers for people like me who were just a little bit shy, and that's nice of them, but I don't know if that was a time-limited thing or not. But even if you're not able to pick up Somme, that's just a replica of Jutland, the Tier 9 Tech Tree British destroyer. Anyone can get their hands on this ship. I'm sure Daring is more of the same at Tier 10. Very powerful. I understand why people play them and enjoy them. Man, I can't recommend them enough. So if you were thinking about it, please go ahead, pick them up. They're even better in ranked, if you can believe that. Even better. Well, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.